Hello? Hello, nagbabalik ako. Hello sa mga bago. Ako nga pala si Aristain. Pwede niya rin akong tawaging Aristagne o kung anong gusto nyo itawag sa akin. Welcome sa aking channel. Welcome sa stream. Ngayon maglalaro ako ng Genshin Impact. Kanina naglaro ako ng Pokemon Unite. Sinubukan ko kasing maglaro gamit sa PC ko. Gumamit ako ng emulator na ang tawag ay Game Loop. Kaya sinubukan ko mag-stream ng Pokemon Unite. Hindi nyo na naabutan siguro yun. Naka-private na yun ngayon. Naka-private na yun ngayon. Kasi sinubukan ko lang. Ngayon maglalaro naman ako ng Genshin Impact. Salamat sa mga naghintay. Sana mag-enjoy kayo sa paglalaro ko. Sige, bubuksan ko na yung Genshin Impact. Ang dami ko pala nakabukas na kung ano-ano sa fundo ko. Meron din pala akong Twitch account. Meron akong Twitch channel. Ilalagay ko dito sa may chat yung Twitch channel ko. Kaya i-follow or mag-subscribe na lang kayo sa aking Twitch channel. Yan. Kung gusto yung i-follow ako tapos i-subscribe sa Twitch channel. Sa Twitch channel ko. Nagla-livestream din ako dyan ng mga laro ko. Nag-livestream na ako dyan 2 beses na ata. Ng Genshin Impact. Ay, hindi. Yung isa Genshin Impact tapos yung isa Valorant ata. Kung tama lang pagkakatanda ko. Okay. Buksan ko na yung Genshin Impact. Tapos, papatayin natin tong music ko. Okay. Okay, nag-open na yung Genshin Impact. Yan. Chat lang kayo dyan. Babasahin ko rin yan. So, gagawa ko ng mga kung ano-anong quest ngayon. Tagal ko rin napahinga sa pag-Genshin eh. Kung hindi nyo napanood nga pala yung huli kong livestream dito. Nag-livestream din ako nung kailan ba yun? Martes ata. O Miyerkules. Basta mga ganun. Ngayong linggo lang din ako nag-livestream nun. Nakakuha nga pala ako ng hutaw. Nalo ako ng 50-50. Okay. Pasok na tayo sa mundo ng Tebat. Welcome sa mundo ng Tebat. Sa mga hindi naglalaro ng Genshin Impact. Ang Genshin Impact ay isang open world role-playing gacha game na ginawa ni Mihoyo. Enjoy kayo manood. Maganda tong Genshin Impact. Nalalaro din siya bukod sa PC, nalalaro din siya sa mobile tsaka sa PlayStation. Kaya yung mga may PlayStation dyan saka may mobile, laro na kayo. Kaso sa mobile may mga pili lang na model ng phone saan malalaro yung Genshin Impact. Kasi napakalaki niya. Napakalaki ng memory. Napakalaki din ng RAM na kakainin sa cellphone nyo. Kaya kung gusto nyo maglaro ng Genshin Impact, kailangan nyo mag-upgrade ng cellphone. Ayan. So, nag-load pa rin yung aking Genshin Impact. Kung napapansin nyo, wala pang tao dito. Dapat may mga tao na rito. Paikot-ikotin na muna natin. Pakilala ko kayo sa mga karakter ko sa party. Noel, Raiden Shogun, Chongyun, at si Yanfei. So dito sa Genshin Impact merong mga merong mga elemental skills ang mga characters dito. So katulad ng papakita ko sa inyo yung mga character ko. Okay. Papakita ko sa inyo yung mga character ko para malaman nyo din kung ano yung mga elements na nandito. Meron tayong Animo. Katulad niya, siya ay isang Animo character na sa madaling salita siya yung wind character. Nakakontrol siya ng wind, ng air, ganun. Tapos meron tayong water character na ang tawag naman dito sa Genshin ay Hydro. Meron naman tayong Earth, na ang tawag dito sa laro ay Geo. So marami akong mga Geo dito. Ito pa si Ningguang. Ay, dalawa na pala yung Geo. Tapos itong traveler na to, pwede ko rin siyang gawing Geo. At pwede siyang maging Animo. At meron naman tayong fire element dito na ang tawag naman dito sa laro ay Pyro. Marami akong Pyro dito. At ito si Huta, nakakakuha ko lang sa limited banner niya. Limited character kasi si Hutao. Katulad ni Raiden. Ayun, marami-rami akong Pyro dito. Ito free character na nakuha ko. Yan. Tapos, ito naman, siya yung Ice. O mas tinatawag dito na Cryo. Cryo character. So, meron akong cryo character dito. Tapos, meron din Cryo. Ito, libre tong nakukuha pag nagsimula ka ng laro. Cryo. Sagana ako sa Pyro tsaka sa Cryo character. Tapos, meron namang Lightning. Na ang tawag dito sa laro ay Electro. So, Electro. Si Raiden ay isang Electro character. Yung si Raiden, Kujosara, Lisa, ito libre. Libre siya nakukuha pagka umpisa mo ng laro. Beidou. Yan. So, yan. Ng mga karakter. Meron pa isang karakter dito na hindi pa nilalabas yung... meron pa isang element dito na hindi pa nilalabas yung mga karakter. Ewan ko kung bakit. Wala pang mga karakter na nilalabas. At yun tawag sa kanila ay Dendro. Yun naman yung parang plant. Grass, ganun. Sila yung grass. Okay. Uy, hindi pa pala ito tapos. Ang dami kong mga event na malalagpasan. Sa Wish naman, ito yung Wish. Ang tawag, dito naman magsusumo ng mga karakter. Sa weapon banner ko, LG 4D. Parang mas gusto ko na pala yung Toma. Yan, Toma na lang. Tapos merong mga iba't ibang Wish banner dito. Ito yung limited character event, Wish. Tapos ito naman yung limited weapon event. 2 days na lang. Magbago na naman yung banner. Tapos ito yung standard wish kung saan hindi naman nawawala yung every 10 wishes guaranteed to include at least 1 4-star or higher item. Yung hindi nababago yung... Paano ba sasabihin to? hindi Hindi siya limited. Wala siyang time ano. No. Ayan, standard wishes have no time limit.
The world remains constant over the centuries.
So,
But human life is like the dew at dawn.
gagawa muna ako ng
Rising through
ano to? May event. Special event pa. Ah? Pakita ko sa inyo yung nasa event. Ano to? Okay. Fatui's career measures will empower themselves in battle, and these empowerments must be removed to defeat them quickly. Of the following interactions, which one is the least efficient? Huh? Which of the following characters does not belong to the Knights of Favonius? Albedo, Klee, Mona. Siyempre. Which of the following statements about fighting geohypostasis? Huh? Which of the following statements about geohypostasis Gimel is false? Gimel? You can use geo attacks to damage the geohypostasis core. Ito. What does Yaya Publishing House mainly publish and sell? Serious literature, light popular novels? Hindi pa ako napupunta ng Inazuma kaya hindi ko alam. Disregarding Resolve after Raiden Shogun... Ay, paano po? Hindi ko pa talaga natatapos yung Inazuma kaya hindi ko pa alam masyado. Disregarding Resolve after Raiden Shogun caster elemental skill. Which of the following characters benefit the most elemental burst damage bonus? Resolve. Ano yung Resolve? Hindi ko alam yun. Kujo Sara? Sino pala? Hindi ko alam. Which of the following statements regarding the Kairagi is true? Lose a large amount. Hindi ko alam to. Ano to? Sorry. Attacking Geo Slime not infused by Geo with Geo attacks will deal damage. Geo Slime not infused by Geo. True. Oh? Hindi rin. Who occupies the 8th seat among the 11 Fatui Harbingers? 8th seat. 8. Scaramouche? Sila senyor ata. Ano to? Ay, wala. Asa yung tanong? Ayun. Which of the following will not increase city reputation? Reaching exploration progress must will not increase. Completing a story quest. Which of the following is not a method of restoring character stamina? Stop sprinting and wait for a while. It's not a method. Okay. Consume northern smoked chicken while climbing. Pausing to rest in an up current while gliding. Stop swimming and tread water for a while. Yan. 5 mali. 5 ring tama. Okay na yan. Salamat. So, okay. Hi, Inta. Hi, Inta. I'm sorry if I'm just speaking Tagalog. Because this is a Tagalog live, sorry. I'm sorry if you don't understand anything. Pre-installation function coming. Darating na kasi 2.3. Ito yung sinugutan ko kanina. Ito. Follow the link below. Hindi ko gagawin yan. Maraming birthday ni Katsing. Kaya okay. Kausapin muna natin si Catherine.
Ad Astra Abyssal.
Oo na. Kaya. Tapos Bennett, Chongyun, Beidou, Kujasara. Okay. Ay, magsisimula na ako ng... Uy, yung mga commission ko nasa Mondstadt lang. Very good, very good. I hope you enjoy, Inta. Okay. Punta tayo dun. Sa taas pa. Kumusta kayong mga nanonood ngayon? Sagot lang kayo habang nag-aano ako. Oh no.
Shine down.
Force my blade.
I must leave no stone unturned. There is no escape. I'll catch up.
Di ka alis dyan. Sige.
Leave it all to me. Shine down.
Okay, atakin nyo lang ako.
I must leave no stone unturned.
A touch of frost.
Illusion shattered.
Submit for judgment.
Motion to compel.
Yan. Saan naririnig nyo ako? Mahina ba? Teka lang ah.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
So, bubuksan ko lang yung YouTube ko sa YouTube live stream ko sa cellphone ko para makapag-chat ako sa ano. Ay, mali. Ay, maraming salamat sa nag-subscribe. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat po, Tri Santoso, sa pag-subscribe. Maraming salamat. Sana nag-i-enjoy kayo maglaro. Ay, manood. Maglaro.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Sige, okay. Boss na. Sunod na commission. Maraming salamat sa pag-subscribe. Putri Santoso. Si Elamas na naman pala to. Si Elamas, anak ni Elon Musk. Okay. Sorry, corny. Corny. I've already got a place in mind. The hilichurls there look friendlier than most. Just read out the individual lines I've queried to them. Thanks for your help. Come back here after you've read them the poetry. I want to know everything. And if it doesn't go quite as planned, I'm sure you'll have no trouble resolving the situation. Ay, hindi maganda yung nararamdaman ko, hindi magiging maganda to. Over there, those must be the hilichurls. Okay. She was right. These hilichurls do seem a bit different. Let's get this recital over with. Paimon doubts you'll find any friendlier hilichurls than these. Which line should we start with? Not much of a reaction. Seems it isn't interested in talking. Guess we'll just have to guess what it's saying from its body language. Huh? It seemed to go well. What do you know? The hilichurl seems to like it. Go on, read the next one. Huh? What is it doing? What is it doing that for? It seems to be enjoying this a little too much. If anything, is Elon Musk really that good of a poet? Oh no, watch out over there. The hilichurl's incoming. Ah?
Shine down! Steady as stone.
One with my blade.
Time to clean up.
Ah! Aray ko.
I must leave no illusion shut.
Nasaan ba? Ayun. Ay. Kuhanin ko lang itong mga laman ng box na to. Masaya naman yung masaya yung paglalaro ng Genshin Impact. Ano na, ang ganda-ganda ng scenery, ang ganda-ganda ng mga tanawin. Ay, ano to? Ba't tumatawag yung nanay ko? Tumawag yung nanay ko, hindi ko alam bakit. Siguro dapat lakasan ko yung gain nito. Hello? Kaso rinig na ata yung pagtatype ko eh. Ano ba rin? Wah! Teka lang, may tinatanong lang yung nanay ko. Kumain na kayo, anak? Opo. Okay, kausapin na uli natin si Ila. How did it go? Did you recite my poetry to the hill trolls? I did indeed. So how did it take it? From the looks of it, I'm guessing, not so well. There was an issue. Did you make sure to follow my notes? Or were even they wrong? I'm so sorry. It seems I'm not as proficient as I thought I was. Guess I need to study a bit harder. Thanks for the help anyway, and please take these for your trouble. I need to get a handle on this. I cannot let down the Mus family name. Susunod naman tayong commission. Ito. Ano to? Okay. Ay. Hindi ako papasok dun. Kuhanin ko lang yung mint. Ha? Okay. 8 opponents. Siguro dito na lang ako. Sa may tubig. Hindi ko papansinin.
Illusion shattered. Bam boom. Ha, chia. Chia, chia.
Uy! Hindi patay.
Incinerate.
Ooh.
There is no escape. Leave it all to me. Ha, bam boom. Chia.
Ay.
Time for your arraignment. Ha. Chia. Chia. Incinerate.
Yan. Wah! Sana lang. Yun. Alam niyo ba nagamit ko yung acquainted fate ko? Ay, tama ba? Acquainted fate ba? Teka lang. Intertwined fate pala. Acquainted fate. Nagamit ko yung intertwined fate ko. May 3 akong intertwined fate dito eh. Tapos ginamit ko nung isang live stream. Kaya ngayon, 0 intertwined fate. Natukso kasi ako. Gusto kong makuha sa ano eh. Ano to? Bakit meron akong monster shrine? Gusto kong makuha si Toma eh. Hindi na dapat pala ako naghangad. Sabagay, pyro character yun. Hindi ko na kailangan ng pyro character pa uli. Napakarami kong pyro character. Kailangan ko ng hydro tsaka animo. Kailangan ko ng Ruin Guard pala ito.
Illusion shattered. Steady as incinerate. Devotion to compel.
Yan, yan.
Ja, ja. Boom, boom. Inadmissible evidence. Ja.
Ah! Hindi ako nakapag-dash. Okay, tapos na. Punta na tayo sa Inazuma. Tama. Ga-Archon quest na tayo.
Inactivity serves no.
Punta na ako sa Inazuma. Yan. Okay, sana nag-i-enjoy pa kayo. Okay. Welcome sa Inazuma City. Tama ba? Inazuma City to. Oh, Inazuma City. Pupuntahan ko muna yung si Catherine. Para mako. Ay, nasan si Catherine? Saan yung ano niya? Eh? Ay, ito na ba yun? Ito pala si Catherine. What? Ano to? I would expect no less of you. Keep that up and I'm sure you'll be a most excellent adventurer. Speaking of which, the guild is currently looking for adventurers to explore Seirai Island. Would you be interested? Seirai Island? Yes, it is an island to the south of Narukami Island, with some parts of the island being subject to constant wildstorms that have impeded the guild's exploration work thus far. Well, we have sent two adventurers, Miss Eiko and Mr. Taisuke, to remain on Seirai Island and investigate a way to calm the storm. I'm afraid that they haven't come up with any leads thus far. If you're interested, go to Seirai Island and have a look. It has also been said that the island is full of buried treasure. That said, please be careful while you explore Seirai Island. After all, we have yet to determine the cause of those storms. Hindi yan pinunta ko rito. Another? Have you ever seen multiple Catherines in a single location? If you haven't, then they were one and the same. As the only year-round receptionist in the Adventurers Guild, I can use a special tool to instantly move between various locations in the world to deal with various important matters. After I help you with your matters here, I need to head over to Fontaine. The adventurers over there are notorious for frugality, so I need to receive them well. I also want to teleport. You believed me? You believed me? Sorry, I was joking. Please don't take it seriously. Also, hindi nakakatawa. I thought you knew how to use teleport waypoints. Anyway, I won't bother you with the pointless trivia. Come, I'll help you process the work that's needed by the Inazuma Adventurers Guild. Once things are processed, you can accept commissions here and also enjoy our other benefits. Ad Astra Abyssas Adventure.
Ad Astra Ab.
Yun. Punta na tayo sa Commodity House. Siguro i-explore ko yan. Hindi naman pala maingay, sabi ng ano ko. Okay.
Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere. Do you think he forgot his promise to meet us?
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
Huh?
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form?
So you're dog?
Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Still doesn't really add up. I know a dog when I see one.
All right. I've had my fun.
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister.
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier, though it was quite necessary. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies.
So how did we do in our tests? The courage to face the
Let
lightning?
me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination.
Okay.
A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck...
You mean Kazuha's friend? You mean he died in the duel before the throne?
So you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly.
So will we be allowed to meet the Shirasagi Himegimi?
Yes, of course.
Himegimi.
I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Omnipresent God. Taromaru. Woof! Woof! Can you understand me? Or woof? Have you met someone who smells like me before? Woof? Yung mga... Bakit ganyan yung mga tanong? Can I sign a contract with you to work here? Woof? Woof woof? Makita yung aso. Woof! Who's a handsome doggy? You are! Woof woof woof! Saan yun? Saan yun nagsalita? Sino nagsalita? Ito. Uy. Libro. Sangonomiya Chronicles. Nakanishi. Phew, Komori Tea House is such a great place to drink tea. If only I had an old classical text on hand. About books from the past. Youngster, are you also interested in old tomes as well? Not bad. Kids like you are rare. You have to read these old classics slowly nowadays. I'm sorry, it's not that I disapprove of the younger generation. It's just the fact that Yaya Publishing House has been focusing on light literature recently. I really can't accept that. Pondering, thinking, and coming up with the right words are all part of the fun of literature. Using simple and forgettable pleasures to win readers over. I don't think it's a good trend. About Komori Tea House. It's hard to find a classy tea house in Inazuma nowadays. Indeed, only when those who understand real culture gather together can we maintain the serenity of this place. I heard from Kozue that you were invited by the Kamisato clan to Komori Tea House. If Kozue is around, you can feel free to relax here. Teka lang. Babalik ako guys. Nailabas na yung Christmas tree. Okay. Okay na pala. Uh-huh. If Kozue is around, you can feel free to relax here. About Kozue. Many people have been taken in by Kozue's weak, girly appearance and have paid the price. This girl is not just a talker, she can handle herself really well. She's the offspring of the Kamisato clan's retainers. Her swordsmanship is impeccable, though she's nowhere near as good as me. Haha! Anyway, with her skills, she's definitely qualified to be the gatekeeper of Komori Tea House. Perhaps she's even overqualified. Wala akong naintindihan sa mga sinasabi mo. Taromaru is very cute, eh? He's an old friend of mine. Back in our Shumatsuban days, we were both well-known hunks. Hahaha. Shumatsuban? Haha. I would be remiss not to mention my grand history if we're going to be talking about that. Back in the day, I was an instructor at the ninja village. No one dared to not greet me when they saw me. Taromaru followed me around back then as well. We served the Kamisato clan loyally together. Now that both of us have retired, I'm not sure if they can still count on those young'uns. They're probably still expecting me to give them a score, I'll bet. Ibig sabihin may kinalaman. Kilala mo rin si Sayu. Ano meron dito sa likod? Uy, buti na lang pala nagpunta ako rito. Huh? Raw meat and onikabuto. Punta na tayo dun sa omnipresent statue. Okay. May kumikintab-kintab dun ah. Uy, dito. Saan yun? Wala, nawala yung... Okay. Yukio. Tangwen. Hello, I was thinking about something. I didn't notice you, sorry. What's on your mind? I'm thinking of the current situation of Inazuma and the Raiden Shogun's policies. I couldn't return to my hometown to see the rite of parting due to the Sakoku decree, but somehow I also happened to witness a turning point in Inazuma's history. I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention that I'm a historian from Liyue. Although I can't go home for now, I did get a chance to document the change of policy in Inazuma. It's been such a blessing in disguise. About these policies, I still can't come up with a final conclusion. I think that in order for us to judge a piece of history, we must document it completely first. Therefore, I have decided to stay here for a while and witness future developments in Inazuma. What was Inazuma like before? I think using words like happy or joyful to describe the Inazuma locals back then isn't really accurate. A more appropriate word would be vigorous. The Inazuma locals before the lockdown would still worry about life's troubles. However, they had a vigor then that cannot be matched now. People are indeed living stable and peaceful lives, but if you look at the closed borders, the closed shops, and the patrolling samurai who go around seizing visions, I don't think that anyone can feel at ease in such an oppressive situation. And this is not to mention those people's life took a drastic turn after they lost their visions. Does the Raiden Shogun who seeks eternity really desire an Inazuma that looks like this? Ano to? Bigla na may lumabas. Okay. Hala. Dito na ata ako hindi makakalabas pa ng Inazuma. Ito na ata yung sinasabi nilang hindi na makakalabas pa. Ano to? Bakit mayroon? Ano tingin nyo? Pagpapatuloy ko bang pumasok dyan o... Uy, Inazuma. Pagpapatuloy ko bang pumasok o... Public safety notice. Some hostile Pokemon. Some hostile people have recently appeared in Inazuma City. We urge all citizens to stay alert. If you notice any suspicious outsiders entering the city, please report what you've seen immediately. Papasok ba ako? Sige na, papasok na. Kujo Kamaji. Ano si Kujo Sara? You're the traveler from abroad. What can I do for you? About Hiragi Chisato's letter. Ikaw yung pagdadalan ng letter? This letter, did Miss Hiragi really ask you to deliver this letter to me? This handwriting, it really is her. Thank goodness. Thank you for making this trip, traveler. As for the travel permit, as it's Miss Hiragi's personal request, I will naturally see it through. However, I'll need some time to prepare. How about this? Can you wait for me at the Kiminami restaurant? Why do you want to go there? Well, I want a small favor from you. Recently, I was also thinking of sending something to Miss Hiragi. I wrote a letter and also requested Miss Kiminami to make some treats for me. I was planning to send them together to Miss Hiragi as a present. Hiragi. But if my father finds out about my plans, he might be upset. Just as I was pondering what to do, you showed up. Is your father very strict? Father. He naturally has to be strict. I do understand why he's so unwilling for me to communicate with Miss Hiragi. After all, I'm a member of the Kujo clan and one of the enforcers of the Tenryo Commission. Miss Hiragi is the young lady of the Kanjo Commission's Hiragi clan. If I were to get too close to her, it would be inevitable that someone might try to take advantage of our situation. Even though it is only present, in some people's eyes, it's a lot more than that. Let's not talk about these trivial matters. Traveler, please wait at the Kiminami restaurant for me. After I approve the travel permit, I'll bring it to you. Papuntahin mo pa ako dyan. Papatuloy ko bang pumasok dyan at hindi na makakalabas uli sa Inazuma? ito yung parte na hindi na nakakalabas yung mga kahit na anong gawin nilang ito ata yung parte na yun. Ito nga yun. Ito yung ayos to Ganda ng lugar. Inoy. Inoue. Huh?
This area sure feels gloomy.
Hello, Afif.
People probably don't come here.
Hello,
often
Putri Santoso.
anyway.
I'm sorry if you don't understand me. Because I'm talking in Tagalog, so but I hope you enjoy watching. Ay, hindi ko pa pala na-auto.
Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Mhm.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the vision hunt decree are put into this statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree.
Why did the Shogun issue the Vision Hunt Decree?
Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt Decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue.
Excuse me.
And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being...
Raiden?
Oh, I don't know. Selfish?
Only
Bakit Raiden?
outlanders such
Parang
as
may mga
yourselves would ever
hindi
dare
sila
speak
na-
out so directly against the Raiden Shogun.
Yung mga hindi sila
And
nabago
yet,
dito na
I
ano.
agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not exist. And Miss Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Ano yun?
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
What was that sound just now?
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did something happen?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then... And then what?
I could hear the sound of people's aspirations.
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined.
So a vision symbolizes ambition and not power.
Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
Inuubo ako pero hindi COVID to. Nasaan yung Kamisato residence? Shuzo Kamaji. You are the traveler from afar. I almost mistook you for my brother's messenger. What's with you looking for me and all? So what business do you have with me? Ikaw yung your brother? Yes, Masahito is my elder brother. He's in charge of military affairs in Kanasuka. I'm in charge of government business here in Inazuma City. While I was at work, I have been thinking about some issues with their recent policies. However, I can't really tell some of these thoughts to my father, the head of the Kujo clan. When my brother was around before, I could still discuss such matters with him. Now that he is stranded on another island, I guess I can only stew in my own doubt. About Inazuma's policies. I am a member of the Kujo clan and one of the officials of the Tenryou Commission. It's obvious that I should wholeheartedly support the decision of our almighty shogun, but I've seen the difficult lives led by our people nowadays from the reports I've received recently. The Sakoku Decree and Vision Hunt Decree, are they really beneficial to our future? If the people aren't living happy lives, what's the point of living in an eternal state? Perhaps I'm just overthinking and worrying too much. That's okay. I'll just call you Putri. And just call me Aristain. By the way, Putri, I hope you enjoy the stream. Sino to? Ay, Sato. Yume Miru? See the dream? Siguro hindi naman yun yung pinangalanan. Ay, ano to? Bakit? Tama ba yung pinuntahan ko? Ooh, ay. Muulan. Yan. Nakuha ko na pala. Oh, the taro. Ay. May ba pang daan para punta ron? Alright. Bibenta ng... Uy, fox. May lobo din. Shota. Parang ako nagbura dun. Shota. Okay, yan. Shota. Okay. Yun. Ay, dito pala yun. Ito. Bakit nasa taas yun? Tayo bumaba. Hirap namang mag-farm ng Sakura Blossom. Ay, Sakura Bloom. Alam mo, mas madaling paraan para ma-farm yan. Kailangan pang makagamit ng ano. Ng electro element para pabalik pala ako. Ito. Idore. No problema. Well, I'm running out of news stories to tell Koichi. Which kind of news story? It's a news story told by Uncle Ramsey. He said he's been to many countries and seen many interesting things. In order to record these things, he wrote something called the travelogue. He showed me a lot of his travelogues. But for example, there's a kind of iron carriage that flies in the sky in Fontaine. It runs along an invisible road. It takes no time to travel from one end of the village to the other. There's a special kind of grass in Sumeru, which can be planted anywhere. It can be planted in soil, water, or sand. Once it's planted, it will sprout and grow. And there's a kind of boat that can stay at the bottom of the sea for a long time. Submarine? By riding in that boat, people can go to the deep sea to do all kinds of things and see all kinds of fishes. Did he tell you about Snechnaya? Snechnaya? Well, I don't think so. Well, that's not the point. Recently, Uncle Ramsey stopped sending me his travelogue for some reason, so I'm running out of stories to tell Koichi. I know that Uncle Ramsey has been staying at the Komori tea house. I wanted to go find him, but the gatekeeper, Sister Kozue, wouldn't let me in because I'm a kid. You look old enough. Can you help me ask Uncle Ramsey what happened to those travelogues? I am not that old. Anyway, you look like a reliable person. Please help me. I'll see. Oh? Are you also interested in reading those travelogues? No problem. Just give them to me when you're finished. I'll go with you. Although I can't get in, I can wait for you near the tea house. I'm so looking forward to reading Uncle Ramsey's new travelogue. Hindi ko muna gagawin yun. Nilalagay ko muna yun sa ano. Ganyan muna gagawin ko. Merong chest dun sa ano na yun. Asan na? Ayun. Oh no. Kailangan ko na ata ng electro.
Leave it all to me. There is no escape.
Yan. Wala ka. Ay, electro pala ito.
Motion to compel.
Ala. Up.
Boom! Illusion shattered.
Aray ko. Aray ko.
There is no escape. I must leave no stone unturned.
A touch of frost.
Meron pang isa. Nasaan na yun?
Shine down. Steady as stone.
Forth, my blade.
Kala mo ah. Ito sa'yo. Ay, tapos na pala. Okay. Ito. Maganda rin yung nag-i-explore talaga dito eh. Missing person bulletin board. It's been over a year since my son Simon Zero joined the army. He would write letters to us from time to time, and though he has not accomplished much of great note, he would relate everything that happened to him in the army, which comforted this old man's heart greatly. The war has continued apace, and my son, who has accomplished little, has stopped sending any letters. This lack of contact has greatly disturbed and wounded this old man's spirit. I beseech any who see the notice to help me search for my son if you know of his whereabouts, whether he ekes out some existence somewhere or has had the fortune of dying for his nation. Please let me know, that I may have peace in my heart. If you have anything to discuss, I, Simon Katsumi, give you my sincere thanks. Uy, may mga berry pala dito. Hala ka. Nakita ako. Paano ako nakita? Ay.
Illusion shattered.
Saan ba yung lugar na yun? Hindi ko pa makuha. Hindi ko malaman kung saan yan. Saan bang lugar yung Electroculus na yun? Aralia Wood. Ganda ng lugar na to. Merong mga glow in the dark. May mga glow in the dark na halaman. Parang maganda tong ipang design sa may kwarto. Talagay mo sa may kwarto mo, tas dito sa may sa may desktop mo. Ganda oh. Tama pa ba yung pinupuntahan ko? May Aralia Wood dito. Hindi pala naan to.
Are you here to play with me?
There is no escape.
Swift and merciful.
Over here.
Aray ko.
I'll catch up.
Saan ka na? Saan yun?
Leave it up.
Forth, my blade.
Saan ka na? Saan na naman yun? Yun.
Motion to propel.
Ah! Aray ko. Saan na siya? Ay, hindi pa pala patay. Aray ko.
Shine down.
Ano ba?
I'll catch up.
Tak. Nalaglag ka.
I must leave no stone unturned.
There is no escape.
Okay. Malapit na ba ako? Parang...
Illusion shattered.
Ano ba to? Ano bang... Ano gusto patunayan nun? Nasaan na yun? Ano gagawin dun? Hindi ko parang maintindihan kung paano gagawin dun. Pasok ako dito. Toda. Hirano. Uy. Dito yung mga... Saka ka na. Saan ako? Ayun. Okay. Makikita ko na si Ayaka. Ah, ito palang ata yung ano. Kay Ayaka na Archon quest.
So, this is the kind of place
Teka lang.
where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
So to top the chamber.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest. Miss Kamisato is delighted to finally meet you.
Ay, hindi pala naka-auto.
Is this the Shirakage Himegimi you keep going on about?
Sorry, may ginagawa pa.
Where's she at? Behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
I think I understand. This is slightly anticlimactic.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can...
I did not count to start a rebellion.
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
I'm going to leave now.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go!
What?
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt Decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that right?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here.
I will do as you wish.
Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Ayaw magpakita. Siyempre akong pupunta dyan. Ay, wala. Nasaan siya? Kapag tago agad. Saan ka? Haya ka. Haya ka. Haya ka? Wala siya. Yan, nagsasalita dito sa likod ng screen na to kanina. Okay. Sana nag-i-enjoy pa kayo sa panonood. So, yung mga kwento rin dito sa sa Genshin, punong-puno ng mga politika. Kaya yung mga mahilig sa mga gantong klase ng kwento, yung mga komplikado, pwede kayong maglaro dito. Kasi ako wala akong maintindihan sa mga pinag-uusapan dito talaga. Dahil politika to eh. Yung mga nalagpasan pala akong hindi nakuha ang item. Mga komplikadong bagay, hindi ko talaga maintindihan masyado eh. Bakit kaya may mga shrine dito? Ang daming ano dito. Talagang Japan na Japan yung itsura. Ang daming ano dito. Anong tawag nga dito? Nalimutan ko yung tawag dito. Sa mga gates na yan.
Shine down.
Incinerate!
Reko.
Boom boom! Time for your arraignment!
Saan siya? Wait lang. Shit.
Motion to compel!
Okay. Punta tayo sa Konda Village. Konda. Ayun.
There is no escape.
It's a lucky day. One with my blade.
Anong tawag sa kanila?
See no more.
Nobushi Jitoban.
Spirit blade. Attack. Swift and merciful.
Leave it up to me.
Illusion shattered.
To the very. Finally,
Okay. Uy. Bakit ganun yung mga nagbabantay tapos ganito yung chess? Uy, lavender melon. Ano yun? May puzzle dito. Punta ko muna yung puzzle.
Steady as stone. Incinerate!
Wasak. Ay, bakit sinuwil?
Let's get down to business.
Shine down. Motion to compel.
Paano ba? Okay. Isa. Paano ba to? Paano ko gagawin to? Teka lang. Ang hina ko talaga sa puzzle. Oh, bakit? Taas na ng ping ko. Okay.
Illusion
Ay.
shattered.
Mali. Pare ko. Yun.
But a momentary distraction.
Hina ko talaga sa puzzle eh. Buta na lang sa ibang bagay ako magaling. Tejima. Ano yun? Bakit?
Let's see. Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Ooh. Bago tayo pumunta doon, kukuhanin ko muna tong saan to? Huwag mo sabihin nasa ilalim. Wala naman sa taas. Mamarkahan ko to. Electroculus. Baka nasa ilalim. Meron ba ilalim to? Nasaan yun? Sa puno? Lavender melon. Nasa kaya electroculus na yun? Wala naman dito. Wala naman sa taas. Dito sa baba. Meron naman dito. Meron din dito. At kanina wala naman to. Anong nangyayari? May kailangan ba akong gawin? Wala naman. Baka nasa ilalim talaga.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Aray ko. Meron bang ilalim to? Wala naman. Bakit ganun? Hindi ko makakita kung nasaan yun. Nasaan kayo? Sa taas? Pinakataas? Meron dito. Meron naman dito. Saan naman to? Dito. Saan na napunta yun? Bakit ganun? Nasaan yun? Naku po. Stamina ko. Ah,
Absurd.
pala meron.
Illusion shattered.
Steady as stone.
One with my blade.
Shine down.
Okay. Dahil hindi ko mahanap yan. May kailangan pa atang gawin dyan.
Illusion shattered.
Lalagpasan muna natin yung electroculus dyan.
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay.
What's happening?
Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. He has put an enormous amount of work into looking after this place, and
Okay.
we all think the world of him. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. All we want is for him to stay.
Gusto naman pala nilang magstay ka. Magstay ka na dito, Tejima. So, why the
If
change?
you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they confiscated his vision. After that, he became a completely different person. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk, alone, circled the village a few times, and then out of the blue, he announced that he was going to leave and become a wanderer. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing to do. But equally, it doesn't feel right to let him leave when he's in this state. He's a lost soul.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around here.
Sa mga taong ganyan, dapat binibigyan muna sila ng ng espasyo para mag-isip at hanapin yung sarili nila. Grabe pala nagagawa ng vision dito sa Genshin sa Tibet.
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay.
You've lived there for a long time.
True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead? The emptiness inside.
Grabe nagagawa ng vision.
Okay.
Pag natanggal yung vision sa kanila.
In that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll all come flooding back?
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. There must be a around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
Okay. Saan ang punta? Log.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dried braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black snakehead instead. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait, there's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured possession.
Omamori.
Now that's the kind of info we're looking for. Time to pay a visit to the shrine.
Omamori? Ano yun? Bago tayo pumunta dun sa kung saan man yan, kukuhanin ko muna yung nandito sa taas. Itlog. Dito.
So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. Do you think that it might come in handy?
Siguro? Meron dito. Saan papunta? Ay, ito na ba?
Here we are! This seems to be somewhere that Tejima visited a lot.
Okay.
The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Maybe Tejima buried something precious here. Something that kept him in the village all these years? Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. Let's dig it up and take a look. It looks like a letter. The paper's gone yellow. Must have been written a really long time ago. Konda Village.
If we become separated during war, go wait for me in Konda Village. There'll be a safe home for us there. It's here. Paimon.
So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
Matutuwa kaya si Tejima na makita yan. Na pinakailaman natin yung ano niya? Oy, Tejima. Yung pinakailaman kami.
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamori and letter belong to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited.
Her?
And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared.
Does that make you feel sad?
No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream.
So, do you still plan on leaving?
I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness. The feeling that something is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad.
Napaka-emotional naman ang kwento nito. Using a reason to feel sad is maybe the saddest thing of all.
Just like Ayaka and Toma were saying, if you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the
Nakatulong ba
next
talaga
person.
tayo?
According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
Tenryou. Ibig sabihin sa Inazuma. Saan ka pupunta ya? Tatang. Tatang. Saan ka pupunta? Hello there. Would you like to take a stroll with me? May I ask your name? I'm just an ordinary elderly person. After retiring from the Tenryou Commission, I don't really have much to do. I come out and walk around every day to listen to the birds, to feed the cats and dogs, and to look at the view. I was always busy when I was young. I never knew that Inazuma had such beautiful cherry blossoms, or that the creeks here were so clear and wonderful. We age, but the world remains, so all I want to do now is enjoy the rest of the life I have left. Won't you get tired of it if you look at it every day? This is the part that young people like you wouldn't understand. Though the scenery around here never changes, the people and the things related to it do. It's very interesting if you pay attention to those changes. Bakit parang may pag-iisip na ako ng isang matanda? I once met a young man wearing a maple red shirt who had the ability to read the weather. The clothes that I hung out to dry would have gotten wet if he hadn't told me about the rain. And if you think about it, if it wasn't out and about like this, I wouldn't have met an outstanding outlander like yourself either. Am I right? Haha. Okay. Pareho ako ng pag-iisip sa pareho yung pag-iisip ko sa matandang yun ah. May pag-iisip na ata ako ng matanda. Eh? Oh, siya. Okay. Simon Katsumi. Ikaw yung... Ay. Oh there, youngster. I don't recognize your face. Did you see the notice as well? Are you talking to me? Yes, haha. Does it appear like anyone else nearby is young? Oh dear, where are my manners? Well met, youngster. I believe you must have seen that notice earlier. As you may suspect, I am Simon Katsumi. Hey, this has gotta be Jiro's long-winded old man, right? Shh. Something the matter? Hey, nothing. Everything's fine. Nothing at all. Well then, allow me to continue from where we last left off. It brings me no small amount of shame to ask outsiders to help me find that useless son of mine. Okay, but please do tell me if you hear of anything regarding him, alright? No matter if that little brat is alive or... Please tell me everything you know truthfully. You have my thanks, truly. It's fine, leave it to us. Ah, yes, youngster. Let me also say that if you're able to enter next military camps, you could simply ask the lad's comrades in arms. There's another young lad who joined the army together with him, Ishikawa. I think his name was. A military family's son and a reliable one at that. I'm sorry to have kept you here for so long. Still, if you receive any new, don't forget to swing by Kondo village and inform me. Alright, I need to go back to the village now. Stay safe, youngster. Kid Kujirai.
There is no escape.
Okay. Ayun.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree.
Baka siya
Why would
tinanggalan
they
ng
take
vision.
action against one of their own?
Ay,
Paimon
okay.
doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
Bakit kaya tinanggal yung
I'll
vision sa
ask
kanya?
one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation. How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Emergency provisions. Like emergency food?
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
Kurosawa.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter was.
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
Kurosawa Kyonosuke. Kyonosuke.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous.
Ano ba
If
yung
I was
emergency
short of
provisions na yun?
supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today?
Okay.
My own family can barely get by as it is. No, if you'll excuse me, I've got other
Ah,
matters
siya yung
to
mabait
attend
na
to.
samurai kaya kinuha yung vision niya. Siguro may nakita siyang mali sa ginagawa ng Shogun, tas kinuha yung vision niya. Ano kaya yung mga nangyari sa mga to?
And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun. And that's why they confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. But I don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone
Ano yun?
owes me something.
Ano yun? Ba't
Does
may...
it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
Ano yung tunog na yun?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders, which is why I came here in the first place. I was chasing after them when I got held up by these two. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth. But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders and see what they have to say.
Okay.
We should be able to follow their tracks. They couldn't have gone too far.
Treasure hoarders. Biyak ko plain. Kailangan ba ng... Ay, hindi. Hindi yata kailangan ng elemental site dito. Basta mahanap lang yung treasure hoarder. Ayun!
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one house.
One
You
house.
haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder that will go down in hoarder history. You demand, boss!
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
A touch of frost.
Okay.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know?
Mora.
Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you.
Forget it. That's all you know about Kurosawa.
Kurosawa. Oh, I remember. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck. I knew we shouldn't have hit that place.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food supplies?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little box for our freedom. What do you say?
You've got a deal. Now show us what's in the box.
Paimon.
Huh? What the? There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get to the bottom of this. As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't cross again.
Yes, of course.
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even? Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Ano ibig sabihin ng broke even? May seagrass. Hi, Fox. Bakit? Ano tinitingin mo? Bakit tumitingin kang ganyan? IOU. Ano naman ibig sabihin ng IOU?
Shine down.
Ba't tumahol? Teka lang. Nasaan na siya? PUG. Saan na to? Papuntang Tenryo. Puntang Tenryo na nga to. Eh? Si Aoi pala to.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've
Tsukumomono.
got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about?
About these IOUs.
So you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from.
Ang dami niya utang.
How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy less?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Okay.
Kurosawa was purchasing all the emergency provisions at his own expense. And no one ever appreciated what he did. They just complained and held him accountable.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. What he was doing was truly a thankless deed. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear myself. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself?
Mabait pala to si Kurosawa.
I see. That reminds me, it seems that his vision was recently confiscated. Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword? What sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable blade. He's carried it for years now. I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps
Businesswoman.
it'll even provide you with the answers you're looking for. Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's bill.
But we didn't buy anything.
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry.
Ito ba
I
yung
won't charge
capitalist?
much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway. Oh, let me think. 2,000 mora should be a fair price.
2,000?
At least we now
Fair
know
enough.
where the emergency provisions are coming from. Plus, we found out that Kurosawa has a priceless sword in his possession. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again and see if he can remember anything.
Pinakamataas na lugar na pala ako.
What are you doing here all by yourself?
Where
Where did
did
those
this-
other two go?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything I said was true, right?
Actually...
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember anything. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand. But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so.
Mind if we have a look?
This sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out with the blade and show it off to the kids next door. My father ended up catching me in the act and scolded me severely. What did he say? I can't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should."
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Words are Virtue and justice.
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. I guess that must have been my greatest ambition after all. But what use of virtue and justice? I purchased the provisions for those in need. And look how things ended up. The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying to help refused to understand me. And the irony of all of it is, I somehow still felt sorry when threatening them with my blade. I'm incapable of being a good person, yet I'm equally unable to be bad. I don't know what to do with myself.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's debt. The Yashiro Commission would surely help cover his expenses. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword.
It's no trifling matter.
Seems like losing all ambition is a terrible experience. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul.
Laki ng... Laki ng nawawala sa mga nakukunan ng vision. Para sa na nagkakaroon ng mental illness.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around. Let's go talk to them.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end, didn't he?
Maybe, but I'm still worried about him. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's never shaken him. This time, though...
It's just because he's been possessed, that's all.
Possessed.
Once the exorcism has taken place, he'll be right as rain in no time.
Hey there! Did something happen?
Who are you? Don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Get out of here immediately! Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to...
We're here to become disciples.
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about the mighty master of Meikyo Shisui art. It's the whole reason we came all this way, to seek him out and ask him to train us. But then we got here and overheard you talking about how he got possessed or something?
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here.
Di nga.
Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being.
Not going
I
back.
see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide whether to stay or to leave. Sensei's name is Domon, a name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other prominent sword masters, never losing a single fight. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he continued to hone his own art. His fervor truly inspired us, and we trained hard. determined to keep up with them. But then,
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things over and over, and he refuses to let us train. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think that he's being possessed by an evil spirit. So, we've asked the shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine to perform an exorcism. But if I'm honest, I still have my doubts over whether he'll completely recover.
The Grand Narukami Shrine? What's that?
you haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head shrine maiden is reputed to have very close ties with the almighty Shogun herself. Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami Shrine would have clear power and authority to perform an exorcism. So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine.
Nasa Narukami Shrine
The
siya ngayon?
exorcism will take place this evening. You're both more than welcome to come and watch if you're interested.
So, losing your vision can cause possession? Guess we should come back this evening and see for ourselves.
Hindi ganun yun, Paimon. 18 o'clock. Ano? Wait until the night for the exorcism. Anong oras na ba? Teka lang. Kuhanin natin yung mga achievements ko rito. So, pasensya na. medyo talagang inaano ko. Ninanamdam ko yung mga sinasabi nila. Pag hindi ko kasi ninamdam, hindi ko maintindihan eh. Okay. O'clock na.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant.
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken and pushed her away. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes.
Bloodshot
All the while he
eyes.
kept calling those names. Some of them we knew, others we didn't recognize. But they all seemed to be the names of sword masters he had defeated in the past. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of Sensei's. His senior, in fact. But Sensei defeated him in a duel many years ago. And he has been a wanderer ever since. Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him, so the exorcism can finally continue. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patiently await the result. Here's hoping Sensei will be back to his normal self very soon. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Panigurado hindi naman yan sinasaniban. Bakit ini-exorcism nyo pa? Siya ba yun? Ay. Saan pupunta yun?
Who's that sneaking around? Uh-oh. Could they be here to mess up the exorcism? We won't let them get away with it. Come on, let's go after them.
Ay, hindi ba siya yun?
Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up?
Up? Oh.
Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up.
Up.
Aha! Suspicious person sighted! That's good!
How did you
Excuse me.
catch up with me?
So quickly.
Mas Domon nga ata to.
Are you sure you're Domon's disciples?
Ay,
You move even quicker than he does.
ay hindi.
Unless... I guess it's been a few years. Maybe his skills have improved again.
Excuse me? We're the ones asking the questions here. First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You seem like bad news, mister.
Bakit kanya ka magsalita, Paimon?
I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait. That
Ah, si ano?
You must be...
Anzai. Yes, that's me.
Why did you run?
Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master, studying Make Yoshi Sui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. So the majority of disciples are indifferent to rank and reward. I was no exception. But Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind, and that this would impede him from ever mastering the blade. I thought so too at the time, but Domon began making swift progress in his training, and even started catching up with me. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Make Yoshi Sui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations from me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but my pride and my status too. I fled the dojo that day and never looked back. Later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, that match used up every last ounce of energy in his body. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. Deep down, though, I still respected his mastery of the blade and his commitment to the art of the sword. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could he, of all people, have lost his mind? His mind was the sharpest of them all. He had practiced Make Yoshi Sui art to perfection. I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, to my complete astonishment, I heard him call my name. I thought mine was a name he had long since forgotten. So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. I just wanted to see for myself. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He wasn't here to mess up the exorcism at all. Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us. Let's go see how the exorcism's coming along.
Tingin ko, kinalaban niya si Raiden Shogun. Kaya nawala yung vision niya. Hinamon niya. Kaya siguro nawala yung vision.
saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean that he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. Something's clearly wrong.
Nanako, please. Try not to get agitated.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having possessed Domon. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. Thus, I dare not rule out possession with complete certainty. And all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago that Lady Yae has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Uy, si Yae. Makikita na ba natin si Yae?
Lady Yae? Is that the same Lady Yae that I think you mean?
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine? That's wonderful news! Then Sensei will be sure to recover.
Correct. Lady Yae is most knowledgeable indeed, and has abundant experience in the exorcism of evil spirits and aversion of great calamities. I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yae can give a conclusive verdict.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yae?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yae does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine. I wish Domon a full and speedy recovery.
Who'd have thought Lady Yae herself would have taken notice of our sensei's case?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yae's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. You misunderstand me. I just mean this is Lady Yae, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help you.
I will gladly join you.
Sure. After all, everyone seems pretty excited about Lady Yae. We're curious to meet her too. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two about the Raiden children from her.
Okay. Yun nga. Siguro kinalaban ni Domon si Raiden Shogun. Kaya nawala yung ano niya. Nawala yung vision niya. Kinuha yung vision niya. Musta naman kayong mga nanonood dyan? Sana nag-e-enjoy pa kayo? 2 hours na tayo naglalaro. Maganda yung mga story dito sa Genshin Impact. May mga kwento ritong makaka-relate kayo. Ito. Tapos ka na. Ay, hindi pa. Ano to? Uy.
Illusion shattered! Incinerate!
Okay.
Take them. I have no need.
Ay. Sorry. Nasunog. Punta tayo sa Narukami Shrine. Grand Narukami Shrine. Konda Beach. Dun pa tayo sa... Hindi ko ginagamit yung mga teleport waypoint ngayon. Kasi naisipan ko na marami akong malalagpasan na mga lugar dito. Baka may mga malagpasan ako ditong chess o kung ano mang mga puzzle. Kaya naglalakad na lang ako. Ano shrine to? Uy, siya.
Leave it all to me.
Saan ka na?
Steady as stone, as a dutiful maid would.
Saan ka na naman nagpunta? Ayun.
One with my blade.
Mirror images disperse. Knuckle to flame. Motion to compel.
Ay. Uy. Aw, siya.
Winter shall eventually come.
Ano ang tawag sa'yo?
Illusion shattered.
Punta tayo sa taas na ako. Wala ba ibang paraan para makaakyat dyan? Ano? Ay, wala pala. Akala ko mayroong electroculus. Hindi ko mahanap kung nasa yung electroculus na yan. Nakikita akong electroculus dito pero hindi ko alam kung nasaan. Ay. Sakura Blossom. Hindi ko talaga alam kung nasaan yun. Nasa baba? Sa pinakababa pa? Ayun! Tama ba? Parang nakita ko na yung... Sana lang hindi ako mamatay. Parang nandito eh. May nakita ako dito yung lumiliwanag. Oh no. Delikado yung... Bakit delikado yung tubig dito? Nandito rin eh. Ibig sabihin nasa baba. Siguro may kailangan pa akong i-unlock dyan bago ako makapunta dyan. So ngayon nakakit muna ako sa Narukami Shrine para pagpatuloy yung kwento. Hindi pa na... Otogi wood. Lah, hindi umuulan. Ba't lagi maulan dito? Huwag mo akong makikidlatan dito. Lagi umuulan dito eh, sa parting to. Yung altar. Chest.
There is no escape. Boom!
Huh? Nakapalibot kayo.
But a momentary distraction.
Okay. Ay! Pumipiyok na ako. Akyat. Nasa makapunta sa pinakataas. Ito. Yumimiro. Ay, muntik na akong malaglag. Ano to? Uy. Ano to? Okay.
Take them. I have no need.
Eh? Yun yun. Merong electroculus dito. Saan parte yan? Dito. Malapit sa teleport waypoint. Hindi ko nakita yun. May mga kailangan pa bang gawin para makuha yung mga electroculus dito na iba? Parang may mga puzzle pa dito ah. Sana lang hindi ako makidlatan dito. Pag nakidlatan ako dito, babagsak ako sa pinakababa. Nawala yun.
Clear skies
Ay, siya.
can do nothing to hide the brilliance of
Ano
lightning.
yun?
Divine bolts can strike even in the absence of rain. Do you see that tree? Wait, you understand? So, demonstration is not required. Good.
Hindi ito yung electroculus. Malapit na ako sa electroculus eh. Nasaan ka electroculus? Pag hindi kita nakakita, imamarkahan na lang kita kung nasaan ka. Huwag mo sabihin nasa baba ka rin. Dito rin. Bakit yan to? Mga dapat pa ba akong gawin para makita yung mga electrocules na to? Siguro nga meron pa.
Illusion shattered.
Saan yung weed na yun?
There is no
Smoke
escape.
weed every day. May chest dun. Ay!
But a momentary distraction.
Hindi yan destruction Raiden. Mali ako.
No, let me try again.
Saan ba kayo umuko? Alam ko dito. Pero bakit nakasarado? Dito rin wala naman. Saan kayo kumukuha ng fortune? Ay.
Do you think that's Lady Ai?
Yun na si Yae.
No wonder Junior was so excited.
Alam ko yung mga ibang karakter dito tsaka yung mga mangyayari dahil
Is it just
masyado na akong spoil.
Did she look
Masyado
right
na akong
at us
na-spoil
just now?
dahil sa mga ang dami kong mga napapanood na mga video tungkol sa Genshin Impact
It's not like
sa
she's
YouTube.
never seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears
Dahil kay Raiden
those
talaga
who
yan.
lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Ai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
Excuse me.
Then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Ai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Ai, I'm not sure I understand.
Hindi ko rin naintindihan. Akala ko ako lang eh.
Filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest swordmaster in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Ansai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you, in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day, the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake right from the start? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are now than go any further down this path.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. All I know is that here and now, in the present, I wish to continue. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I, like my sensei Domon before me, am a master of Meikyo Shisui art.
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually, all of us think that way.
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can place the ambition you once had in their hands. Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions crushed. That's what happened on the day that you so effortlessly defeated me. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, it is time for you to release yours into their custody. You are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number of worthy disciples.
I understand. I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and for the state of Meikyo Shisui art. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The emptiness and suffering inside of me will not abate, so I cannot hope to still my mind and be free of agitation. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you everything I have learned in my life so far. This is my promise. And I humbly ask Ansai, my senior, to hold me to my word.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore, so I will simply stop by once in a while to make sure you aren't cutting any corners with them. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
Meikyo Shisui art disciples think.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Yes, it seems as good of a resolution as we can hope for.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment.
Huh?
I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Ai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
Okay. Ah, ito. You want a fortune slip? Jeez, she's so cool. Yes, I'd like one. Got it. Here's how it goes. First, shake this thing over here. Isn't it called a fortune slip box? Yes, a bamboo slip will drop out from it. Give it to me and I'll give you a matching strip of paper. I'm pretty sure they say it's a fortune slip. Whatever. I almost got a question. What do we do if we get one that means bad luck? It's fate. You got a problem with that, huh? Eh? Isn't there that shelf-like thing outside we can use too? Did you seriously just say tss? Let me see. Oh right, so it's like this. Tie the inauspicious slip into the fortune slip hanger to change ill fortune to good. Alright, if you get a slip with ill fortune, just tie it to that shelf, that'll do. What a bunch of... No, sorry. We at the Grand Narukami Shrine are most gentle indeed. Even if you should draw a slip with bad luck, you should have a chance to turn it around. Something about this doesn't seem right. Let's go draw a slip, Ersting. Okay. There's a chance every day to receive a fortune slip. The procedure is as follows. Shake a bamboo slip from the fortune slip box and exchange that bamboo slip for a fortune slip with Gendoringo. Would you like to try your luck today? Try your luck. Pick the slip cylinder. Click the cylinder to draw a fortune slip. Successfully drawn a fortune slip. Open it up quickly. Give me that bamboo slip. Right. This friend really seems to lack the whole divine affection thing, huh? Here. Let's see how our luck's going. Ah yes, you can only draw one fortune slip each day. Please remember that. It's too tiring otherwise. Wait, no. If not, you won't be able to use a fortune slip hanger to... No, that's not right either. What was I supposed to say? What was I supposed to say? Fortune slips are the manifestation of our Archon's will. It is our place as mortals to respect it and do all we can. See? Elegantly put. So please remember, you can only draw one fortune slip each day. Let Paimon see. Let Paimon see. Eh? It's inauspicious. Paimon remembers the scenario. It said to tie the inauspicious slip onto the fortune slip hanger. And then treat Paimon to some good food. That'll help change bad luck into good. Is that so? Of course, are you questioning the wisdom of the ancients? The wisdom of the ancients is incredible. Anyway, let's find the fortune slip hanger first. Fortune slip hanger. Ah, ito. If misfortune or great misfortune is drawn, try tying it over here can help change the luck. Tingnan muna natin kung ano nakuha natin. Ito ba? Ito yun. Great misfortune. Okay. Curly lizard. Hang it up. Okay. Great misfortune. Yok nga. Ay.
Illusion shattered.
Hindi ko talaga makita yung... Nasaan kaya yun? Meron din ditong ano eh. Meron din ditong electroculus pero hindi ko alam kung nasaan. And then nakita ko na ata yun dito eh. Nakita ko na ngayon nandito. Okay. Siguro pagkatapos nito, tatapusin ko muna yung live stream.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Ano nangyari? Okay. Hi, Ayaka.
Traveler, Paimon. It is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Actually, we didn't really help at all. Damage done by losing a vision can be completely undone.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen. Alright, we can be friends.
Friend request accepted.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen?
It seems to be a fate worse than death.
Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, the lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descend. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance?
I will help you fight the Vision Hunt Decree.
You will? Really?
But you must keep the promise you made me.
Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
Take you once again to Komori Tea House.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me?
Have you raised your formal objection? Ano ba magandang tanong?
The almighty Shogun. I have seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose. Focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling.
Is no one else fighting the division and
The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the vision hunt decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the vision hunt decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt decree.
Have you raised a formal objection to the Vision Hunt decree?
Of course. We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryou Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt decree.
I have no further questions.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Fake vision?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article.
Kind of want one
The
too.
problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who is providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryou Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it? Ugh.
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu.
It's only right that he should be saved too.
Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future activity we might seek to attempt.
So you're offloading the job to me, huh?
By no means do we intend to place the burden of such a task on your shoulders alone. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
Who? Madarame Hyakubei. So, guys, hanggang dito muna tayo maglalaro. Siguro dito na ako dito na muna ako titigil. Okay. Dito muna tayo. Maraming salamat sa mga nanood sa inyo. Abangan nyo ako magla-live. Wala pa talaga akong schedule kung kailan magla-live dahil ginagawa ko lang tong pagla-live na to. Dahil gusto ko lang ipakita kung yung mga gusto kong laruin. So naglalaro ako ng ng Genshin Impact, ng Valorant, tsaka Pokemon Unite. Pati na rin siguro Among Us. Baka i-stream ko na rin. Lahat yun Tagalog. Nagtatagalog ako dun. Sana nag-enjoy kayo, nagustuhan nyo yung mga napanood nyo ngayon. Nagla-livestream ako sa YouTube tsaka sa Twitch. Yung Twitch channel ko nandyan na rin sa sa may live chat. Kopihin ko na lang uli. Tapos punta kayo sa Twitch channel ko. Ayan. Punta kayo sa Twitch channel ko. Mag-subscribe kayo at mag-follow. Makakatulong naman yun sa akin sa lahat. At i-share nyo na rin yung channel ko. Dito naman sa may YouTube channel ko, mag-subscribe na kayo. At i-share nyo sa mga kaibigan nyo na mahilig sa Genshin Impact, Valorant, Pokemon Unite, Among Us, at kung ano ng mga laro. Okay. Maraming salamat sa mga nanood. Susunod uli. Yan. Ako si Aristain. Nagpapaalam na sa ngayon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye na.